savaguerutigammaliklugu 2016 mi savajjeqtuami community wellness taapkunani anniarvipta savaktinginni aasiin aimaugalertuami maani ilaani Inuit ikayortailliortuat ууᕙᒍතිgun ikayorlugit tasva aasiin sulisavaksimavaktugut katimagaangata Inuit ikayortaillioraangata ууᕙᒍта тунгааgun ilisarnikullu ingilaarnitallu tainerit mumiktaterlutigik arpatlu uvaguk savakpaktuanni taima aasiin arriittauq ilaani arriaraangata upautivangmiyuangni qangma aglaan ilauqqalertuangni soormi taima aglaan atuutiniaripsi uploq uumanga unipkaamik qangma ilitamnik ilaani unipkaanik ilisarlunga pivallaalaittunga aglaan una unipkaa ilitara naalaataqlugu maamaga nanugaq itqaumaniarikput uvvasivulleq atuun una unipkaa auyaru anguarniarpeqaanga auyaru anguarniarpeqaanga suniarpeqa oqinniartungaqaanga auyaru anguarniarpeqaanga suniarpeqa oqinniartungaqaanga tisva taamna ilisartara una unipkaaq ingilaarnitaq Inuit takumavangnerlugu gooq una inuk ukioraluami pautaqlugu qayani nuvuyainnakun aulajuaq taamnagooq aliortuarivangnigaat Inuit qapsimik taima sumileqa nunami sivunneqartoq taamna qayartuarungnertuoq tasvagooq una qayartuataqluni anguniallaktarpaktuaq nunamini inungnik munaqsimavakkami sivulleq una unipkaallangniariga arnarooq niviarsaraaluk ilaita tupertilugu saniminnun iglungmik tupermik saniannun tupertornertuat niviarsaaq taamna uqaullautsaujor munaqsiminin uvvagooq uvani tupermi aulalaittutin aglaan iluamiuyuksatin uvagut ikiorniaripsigin sunik atuaksarnik nerisuleruvit uvaguttauqaasiin neqiksarnik payungniariptigin aglaan anilaittutin taimanna uqaulluutsagu fakkaluartoq niviarsaraaluk una anaanaatalu amaamaatalu munarineqaak niviarsaraaluk taima aasiin itermangnigooq aakanilu amaamanilu taamna silamut qiviaraluarnertuaq taamna tupqumpaanga angmaqlugu taunnagooq inuk qayartornertuaq takumaakkit qaraa inugooq taamna qayaminin kivlingnertuaq inmigun imam qaanganun tasva taamna sivunia umatsuma unipkaa tasva aasiin una unipkaaq imanna aliortuumiyaarpangnertuat Inuit takumaplugu nuvuyainnakkuttat pauna aulajuaq qeqimigaluaq peqtumigaluaq takumavangnigaat ina qayartortuaq auyaru anguarniarpeqaanga taamna atoqlugu uvvagooq qeqerpangmi qeqitaavaktoq inuk takumayartik kiisaimmagoq aujarmiman taamna atuunni atoqlugu Taimagok atuadaktilune tatpaani inugok tulugangok tualom paarnerameung kaliklugu qainanga Taimagok qaliktit qaarluni taunungamun nunamun misipaarluni taununga minneqtuaq nunagok mitpailuni nibliqpailluni nunamun tuktinigaa qayani Taimagok utimun umiaqtuliqluni taunani immami angunaarvingmini taspa taamna unipkaarillakkiqa taamna ilitaqa ingilaarnitaq unipkaaliaq taspa inungnun ilisauttutigivaga taamna ilisauttutigivaga inungnun nutaqqanullu imannasivunniuquplutigit sunaliqaa uqarneruptigu unipkaaqtutun taaviumuuna savaguglutalunniin isumaliorupta sunikluunniin uuktorumagupta sapeqsanginneqtuaq isumakput isumamini isumani maliqullugu tutqiktukun aulatqullugu taimannaptauq inuuseq tikilammigaa uqariaqput uvaptigun suangavialuktoq unipkaatu taaviumuuna quyanainni.
Do you mind sharing just a little bit of what you just shared?
No.
Oh.
I'm just joking. It's for them to hear.
Okay.
Well, it's just in the story. It's in our Josiah said already. And the story was about the legend of the Qaikaffi. But the first part was, I elaborated more about it, was when he was out on the ocean. He had gone out with his kayak, rowing it out to go hunt for his community. And there was this young lady that was just turning to be, reach just maturity, puberty age. And the elders that were responsible for her had set up a tent, close to her, their home. And in the olden days, that's how they were teaching the young girl to be, doing stuff for herself, to strengthen herself and look after her health, and teaching her how to look after her time when it comes. Each time the lady was, or the girl was, menstruating, and they told her you have to stay home. And it was one of their beliefs that they would do that with them, and they would keep her in the tent. And they told her, you can't go out, you can't even look out. And so when the elders went into their house to prepare meals for her or get stuff for her, and during that time she'd been opening the door of her tent and looked out, and she seen the person rowing his kayak way out there. But he was already lifting up his own boat for some reason, I guess to look around and hunt. But she looked, and it lifted him more higher. And the story goes, she should have never opened her tent, and she had so much power in her, I guess. And maybe it was her that caused it. Who knows? So, and the story that was told by my mom was the story. And so I just sang the song as it was told.
Yeah.
And the Josiah said.
Is it an old story?
It's a legend.
It is, because I remember hearing that growing up in Tuk. Like when you were on your menstrual cycle, the story of the woman that looked out.
That's one of the beliefs. And so I didn't really know a thing about how should I begin to tell a legend. So one day I thought, I should just read my mom's stories. And then I started singing that song with her, but she didn't have the drum beat to it. I did, so I brought a beat to it. And so I started understanding what the story was saying. And so the person himself was singing, maybe in the summertime I'll be rowing my boat again. I hope that I will be, landing in a safe spot in the ocean to row my boat again. Maybe one day soon. I really hope to do that. Maybe this summer.
Yeah. That's the man who wrote the song?
Yeah. He's singing it himself.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And he kept singing it and singing it. And then one day, his story, he was saying it, it came true.
Yeah.
When the person, the raven with the spirit person in him, tagged him in midair, and that's when he was able to land his boat, but with a loud crash on the ground, and it went on the water. And so that was the legend story. And
isn't that beautiful?
Yeah. So I always, like, when I talk to young people that I work with, or elders or people in general, I always tell them, if you really believe in what you do and what you are, going to be doing for your life, and you talk about it, and believe in what you're going to do, because your words are so powerful. It could happen. It's true. It has happened to me too.
I'm so happy right now listening to the story and talking to you.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
It's been a long time since I heard any stories of legend.
Yeah.
So that's, I thank you so much, Quyanaq.
You're welcome.
Yeah. And we have plenty of your beautiful art.
Yeah.
So aside from your career in helping people and teaching, you're also an artist.
Yeah.
Yes. Do you mind sharing some of your artwork?
Sure.
Yeah.
The only reason why I share like this was if I was not trained to work as a community wellness worker or drug and alcohol worker, that's how I got into work. I never really educated myself, but in the language, and so I said that at the beginning, is that when I came here, I worked here for the last years, and then I retired. I was not even old, so I'm still able to talk like this. But anyway, I got to do more of my crafts and tell stories. If I had to, like, even to do art, and then share the stories through terminology. Because when I was brought up, I learned more in my language from my great-grandmother. And once I did tell the story when I came here at one point, and I don't know if you guys put it out, but anyway, our great-grandmother was always in my home. My dad was adopted by her. She adopted her grandson, my dad. So that's how we heard a lot of stories from her, and we were able to, do things. This, believe me or not, belonged to her. Her name is Mama Yao. And the blade at one time when I was a child was this long. And over time, from sharpening it, it's gotten this short. So when she passed away in 1968, my parents believed she might have been about 100 years old. And I was maybe 16 when she passed. So now you could do math and you could know how old I am. But anyway, this got passed down to my mom. 'Cause my mom was always with her, and she's learning a lot of stories, same time as the stories she's picked up from her father, Nunagijavut. And then when she married my dad, she learned a lot more stories from Mama Yao, and also how to sew and tan heights. And she did a lot of sewing because Mama Yao herself was a seamstress for the Wildermore Stephenson crew, and they hired her, and then her daily rate in a year, I think my brother calculated for about 400 something a year, and that time the money was big.
Yeah.
Like in the early 1900s.
So she was a well-paid seamstress.
Yes. And I have one of her pictures. Her hair is just long, and she must have shampooed it like back in the day. I would have never had nice shining hair like that, but it was just hanging down and, been shown to dress nice and wear things like I never seen other people wear long ago. Like if I was growing up, I never seen anybody dressed that good. She must have been a good seamstress, yeah.
Can you tell us what it's made out of?
Okay, this one is like a steel already done, like probably from some kind of post. And the wood itself is driftwood.
Yeah.
And it must have been the hard one.
Yeah.
The hard ninngop, maybe. And it's light. Maybe hardwood is different. But I might be saying the wrong word. But it's the hardwood. And they use it for handle to fix their tools. And so this one would be for tanning hides.
And what's on the inside?
Oh, my mom used this, and I guess to prevent things from going in.
Yeah.
She would have had to put this in, and so a lot of the stuff, debris from the hide would have been stuck in there, and I guess she stuffed it. I never opened it yet, so
it's
I just want to keep everything what my mom has in there.
It looks like
it's a spool.
Yeah, like a spool for thread.
Yeah, and this used to be on quite well without having this tape on it, but I guess she wanted to make it stay put, and so she kept it like this.
Do you mind if I look?
Yeah, go ahead.
So this is potentially very, very old.
It is, yeah.
Like
19
what you said?
Well, she must have had it while she lived here in the Delta, because that's driftwood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you mind if I show what it looks like
Go
on the
ahead.
inside?
Don't show the spool.
That's what I was going to ask to show. But I just wanted to show you could see the skin. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Okay.
So you can see the, like the flesh, like what they were fleshing off.
Yeah. It doesn't smell bad.
No, it doesn't.
It's weathered.
It's dried out, obviously. And then here we have a game.
Yeah, a game. And then I'll just keep on with this one. So this other tool is also a scraping tool, but it's also hardwood. And this one is probably done with the same kind of pipe, but it seems heavier. And that somebody with a strong tool cut it open and just opened this up. And this one belonged to my grandmother, my mother's mother, Ikiuna.
So you inherited both?
I took them.
Oh.
I took them because my mom was getting sick.
Oh, okay.
And I was tanning my hides at her place. And I thought, I'm going to borrow these. And I still had them when she passed.
Yeah.
There was no more. They weren't going to be used, and I said, I'll keep these. So this one belonged to Ikiuna Topsy Banksland, my Adarak Nutkusak's wife. And she was from Bailey, and all our relatives are connected through her from down to Tuyaktok. Yeah.
Do you still use them? Do you still?
Oh, yes. If I have to use them, I will use them. The last time I used them, I think, was about 6 years ago. And I was tanning my wolverine hides.
Yeah.
And then my 2 sealskin I still have. Actually, I wanted to make a wall hanging with my sealskins. I never did that yet.
Yeah.
I always check to see they're still good. I don't want them drying, ripping. Yeah. So,
and then,
And so all the seamstresses that I know make needle cases like this. My thimble, I looked for it, and it's gone in my other case. So they would have threads in there, and then all their needles. And I made this one from scratch. I didn't want to get rid of this part of the embroidery work I did. I did for muklaks when I was refurbishing them. I'm not throwing them away. I just had to use them. So
it's
I made
beautiful.
a needle case.
Yeah.
We call this gukbik.
Gukbik.
Gukbik to, put your needle cases. Gukbik. Not gukgik.
I said gukbik.
Yeah, gukgik is a snot.
Oh, I didn't say.
If you say gukbik, it's a needle case.
That's how come pronunciation's so important.
Yes, really. Pronunciation of words is so important. And so there's kopite and leather, kind of maybe deer hide that I use. And just make them could make anything you want. Yeah.
And refurbish, don't waste anything.
Yeah. And so I got this, another embroidery work.
That's beautiful.
And yeah, I know. When we went to our last ATM meeting, or AIT meeting, team meeting, and we went to Goose Bay last March. I think it was March, me and Ethel. And my friend came from Nain, Labrador. Her name is Joan, I think. Joan, if you're listening and you see me, hi to you. Thank you for the mat. I love it so much. I had to bring it to talk to people about it. Here she created a mat with all the ulu types that they have over in Goose Bay, Labrador. You could tell they're a little bit different from our style from Alaska.
Yeah.
And this one's made by one of the Browers, my relatives through Netkusiak, and they live in Point Barrow. And this one is made with ivory and the baleen of the whale. And thank you to those relatives of mine in Barrow.
You've been gifted so much beautiful stuff.
Yes. I have one more too, but I couldn't find my ulu from the girls from Sisamute, Greenland. That was so beautiful. I could not find it. Yeah.
Yeah, and you have a bag?
Yes, this one is just a gift from, I forget where we got this. And they were just being given away. Yeah.
Crafty ways to include our
that is true. Our culture.
Yeah.
Our tools. Our tools are so important, as Inuit. So, and there's way more tools that we would have been using. Like the needle case I had too was a traditional one. It was made with a swan, from the swan arm, and they're so long. They would clean that out and cut off the ends, and then put the needle case through with a leather and a thimble holder at the end. And on this side would be a longer hide with a slit and a good anchor. It would go on the belt, and the ladies would carry it around. This long ago, people were nomadic a lot. People went on land in the summertime like now. They would be hiking and hunting or, doing things with their dogs, moving them, maybe getting them to pack their gear. And they would be hunting for either caribou or hunting geese on land.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's just a way to...
Yeah, just a way to travel. Because they may not have kayak. Maybe they do, but they're too small for everybody to go on, so they would go on long hikes. Like from here, they would hike down to Tuktoyaktok. Yeah, and they had such strong beliefs that they would not carry like threads, like from caribou.
Yeah, the sinew?
Yeah, the sinew. I don't think I have one here.
There's a little bit one on right here.
This one is like that other artificial one.
Okay.
So I think I left my sinew back in the house.
You have natural, like real sinew?
Yes, I have one that I was carrying. But in a way, in the olden days, the people were told to leave anything that was from the land when they were going to go out to the coast to hunt belugas and the sea mammals.
Because of the land mammals.
Yeah. So they were told to leave things on land that they used for, for survival. And I guess they carried their needles, but they would have to use something else from the ocean to make their thread.
I wonder what they used.
Probably something from the...
Like seal?
Probably from the beluga or bearded seal, maybe. There are hides that you can tan maybe from their intestines or something to make it stronger. And their tendons are strong, you know, in the animal. Maybe they would take them out too.
Probably, yeah.
Maybe from the whale or maybe walruses might have tougher ones. But I know they take the caribou's back spleen, where it's on a back strap here. They would take that one off, clean it out and wash it and put it on a piece of plywood and dry it, and that would be their sinew.
Yeah.
Yeah, for everything they do.
I'm learning so much.
Oh, thank you.
Like this episode has been an episode of like learning and hearing old stories I haven't heard in years. I moved away from Tuck 2006, so it's been that long.
So if you're gonna butcher an animal, we could learn all together how we could, dry these things.
I would love that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll message you if Greg ever gets a
Caribou.
Yeah.
Don't
and
cut
then
it
I'll
until
share. Yeah.
We'll make the drum with it.
Yeah. And who made the drum?
Oh, I bought this. We bought this. It was not bought, actually. It was gifted to us there. You know, Michael A. Drescher. He lived here with his family.
Yes. Yeah.
His family and the Drescher clan. And this was gifted to us October 1, 2004.
Wow.
Michael Drescher Sr. So
that's a very
there was no art. I put the art in it.
Yeah.
Maybe I shouldn't have.
When did you put the art on it?
Not too long ago. Remember we used to get ptarmigans this winter, or last winter? A whole bunch, and I thought, Jeff should draw them.
That's exactly what I was going to ask you. Did you choose ptarmigans because they were so abundant? Yeah. I've never seen them that abundant here in the community.
Yeah, they were just all over
everywhere.
The place. Yeah.
My kids loved seeing all of the ptarmigan, and we would go hunting every Sunday, and that was our Sunday meal. Go for a ride on the highway and get 2 ptarmigan, and that was supper.
And they were in town. Somebody said, gee, look, we don't even have to hunt. We should just snare those ones.
You watch Alone?
No, I'm afraid to watch it alone.
So Alone, it was filmed here. Oh, it was filmed just up the new one that's playing right now. It was filmed just up there. The guy grabbed a big long tree and he put some type of a net at the end of it. Yeah. And he was catching ptarmigan. And that's what he was doing to catch his ptarmigan. Nice. He said they do this for their wild chickens down south. So he did it, and on the first episode, I think first or second, he was catching. I should watch it now. I won't feel so scared. That's how come I like watching it. Like, they were really crafty, but I was wondering, I wonder if that would work if we, clearly it worked for him.
Yeah. Because people use nets,
Yeah.
Take them. There's good stories about ptarmigans that people survived on. They were about to starve. Yeah. And ptarmigans was the ones that they, made their lives live again.
I know you lived in ऊᕙᒍաթ. I lived in Sax Harbor for a while, and the ptarmigan in Sax Harbor, they're on the rocks. They're on the ground. Years in Tuck, same thing. Last 2 winters ago, Greg was driving me, and we have tall willows here. I seen them at the top of the willows, and I screamed and said, Greg, look, they're on the willows. He laughed at me. Margaret, they always go on the willows. I felt so, like, I didn't know, like, just because you grow up in the town where there's no trees, like.
They go on the tundra.
That's how come I told the story, because on your picture they're on the willows. They
look so nice when they all bundle up.
You have a few more things. Did you want to show them? Yes.
Oh. Not the drum case.
Oh.
It's too messy. So I made this for my great-granddaughter. And I wanted to talk about it because, it's a one-piece suit.
Yeah, like it's almost like a snowsuit.
Yeah, like a snowsuit. And the father came back to me and he said, look, they don't use these anymore. So he brought them back to me, and I said, oh, okay.
So how old would this be?
This is not very old. Like Ember is like this big now.
Oh, okay.
So about maybe 4 or 5 years ago, she was wearing this. And I made it so, because, I'm thinking there's nobody really going to dress her up. So I thought maybe I'll make it easier if I just made a one-piece suit. And I had the muklaks attached to it, but they came off. And, you know, I was wanting to share this story because if you're a mother, you could probably create a snowsuit in Uvagut style. And that way you don't have to worry about buying them from the store. You make them out of, you know, good insulated material, and she'll stay warm like in the winter.
This is Wolverine.
Wolverine.
How come it's so soft, right? Don't you think it's quite soft, this part?
Yeah, because I washed them and tanned them.
Oh.
Not only that, I give it some lotion.
Yeah. Well, I mean, even the fur, like, it doesn't seem coarse.
Yeah. She used it for a while. This is a wolf.
And you did the wolf? Yeah.
And you just attach it. And you just put the wolf, and there's a little...
Do you have any plans on what you're going to do with it now?
Yes, because then there's that little boy, younger than her, like he's about 2 years old. One day I said, I'll make this fit you. He goes, no, I'm going to change the cover. I'm going to take all this fur off. Maybe we use the Wolverine, but it'll be a shorter parka. I'll make it like for a boy.
Yeah.
He still said, no.
Thinking he's going to get something for a girl.
He misunderstood me.
Yeah.
It's not going to be like this.
That's what we did for my kids too, because I have a girl and a boy. We took her parka and we just put a new cover on it, and it took the skirt off. Yeah.
Like our elders always just refurbished things.
Yeah.
Back in the day, because you know, we made do with hand-me-down clothing, and so our moms always just, you know, send them down to the younger kids.
You know what my mother-in-law does? She takes her down jackets and cuts the little pattern and then reuses because you know a zipper might go or something. Yeah.
So many things you could do, you know.
And then it doesn't cost anything. It's just, you just have to know how to do it.
And it's warm. Once you clean them or wash them, you just redo things over and let them wear it. It's like new again.
Do you mind if I tell a story of
Go
some
ahead.
people I know? So if you look at the neckline, I was watching these women. They're not indigenous. They're non-indigenous. They're not in Uvalut, and they were trying to create an adik look. And they were saying they're going to take the front pattern and cut it to use the back pattern. And I said, you can't do that because you have shoulder blades. You need room, so it's different. And then they folded it in half and they cut, you see right here? They said, well, we're going to make it bigger. When they pulled it out, the neck was, you know, like right cut like a bowl. And then they stopped and said, okay, we're going to ask Miss Donna to help us. And first they said, ask her what to do. She sounded like she knew what she's talking about. I said, I don't know how to sew. I just know the back's different from the front.
It is. Some people will make it a little lower, about this much. I don't. I just make it just a little bit higher, and then some will make it lower. And then same with the inside, you know, where the sleeves are. You can cut it inside a little more further. And then the back straight. You move more like with the parka like this. So you don't stay like this all the time.
The late Jessie Colton told me when she first learned how to make a parka by herself, doing it by herself, her and her friends, she said she wanted to try, instead of making it straight, make it have a curve. And she made it curve so much when they put it together, she couldn't fit it over her shoulders. And her mom was just mad because that's considered wasting. And back then, it's precious materials. But that's what she told me. She said, don't try cut patterns to make them. Now, people know how, but back then, you just try and learn.
That's right. With heights, it's a little bit different.
Yeah.
If you make parka patterns, the measurements would just be like, this is for a lady. And the men's one would be the next finger.
Oh, okay.
And the ladies would be this white for this pattern. Even if you're making dress shirts, you could use still that pattern because the heights, when you finish them, are different from material. Yeah. And I always tell people, your foot size is right in the hand of your palm. Palm of your hand. So mine is right here. Like I would stretch this down to the middle finger and to the second knuckle. That's my size 10 from right here.
Oh, I think I've heard that before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How can that be? But everybody has it in their hand. Because we learned this from our great Nanak, the seamstress.
Yeah. Really crafty, huh?
Yeah.
I'm going to check that out later.
And then I was telling the guy that I bought my Uruk book from in Weavers. I said, I'm looking for a size 10. And he brought a pair out and I measured it. I said, no, those are too big. And he says, what size are you? I said, 10. I said, I know it from my hand. He said, wow, wait until I tell that to my son. He's got big feet. We'll find out how it works.
I wonder if that's a real, accurate to even,
Could be. It's all in your hands. That's it. No more.
Okay, let's play. Let's
Sure.
play.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this one is, we were teaching the terminology for our drum dance groups. And this is one of them that I like to sing because it's about the seasons, 4 seasons. And then over time that it's been made, it changes words and title. So they might recognize this one. It goes like this. Not that one. All right. Sinigusukpe Oblangok mago ayayangaya Makinir alungay kagilugo Oblidik saka yanga ayayange Naungi mak maludik rak
You were always a part of the drum dancing, huh? That's where you learned all of your songs and how to sing them?
Actually, I learned from my mom.
Oh.
And they were just starting to revitalize all the drum dance songs back in the 90s. And Inuit groups, I guess, wanted them revitalized back then because they were starting to lose them as elders weren't singing them as much as they should have been. Like back in the day, I guess they just sort of pushed everything back. And then I was just working as the alcohol and drug worker in Ulu, and I just told my mom, you should start singing those with your brother, Jimmy Mimorana. So I just started whispering in her ear, I can't say, you should sing them. But, and then the words started coming out. The elders were coming together around this area. And then we happened to live here in Inuvik. By then, going in and out from Inuvik at different times, me and Albert. So we were at the Ingamo Hall when the elders came in to do these rehearsals, and they were recording them. And sure enough, they were, singing them and bringing it back so that more people would learn them and sing them.
Yeah.
And so that's exactly about the time. So they adopted, they took their drums back, and in Ulu, they began singing them to their communities and their children. Mimorana's house used to be always full with his kids, and that's where my mom would be going to help with the revitalization, some of the songs they sang.
Yeah. And then she taught you how as as she was
some
going.
Pictures, yeah.
Yeah.
There's some pictures. We had to really listen, huh? Listening is the best way you could learn how the words are pronounced. For those of you listening is a great deal of a tool that you would learn before you start singing them. And it's good to record them and listen to them and write them. Write them the way you hear them. And talk with the elder to see if you have them written down the right way.
Yeah.
Because sometimes now it's just a chant, you know, for the new learners because they don't have their language.
I think I talked about this with you and Albert before because I could never understand why, as a child, it sounds different now today compared to when I was young. And we talked about it, how it's pronunciation. And it's not just mimicking.
It's like most of them have mimicking still because, first of all, they don't have a clue how the words are being said. And if the community is not speaking anymore, so everything is being lost as we speak for a long time. Even me, I'm starting to forget some of the words. And every time I remember it, I'll put it down. And there were old phrases and words that, you know, our elders used. For instance, I said, the big, deep ocean, it's called Inuviq. I don't want to forget that. Inuviq. Yeah, it's a deep, massive ocean. It's a deep water. It's between islands and up north where our oceans and sea mammals are alive. And the big ones like whales and, you know, walruses. And the ice is sometimes floating around, but no more because polar bears are, you know, scrambling for life now.
Because there's no more sea ice.
Yeah. And imagine the whales and the animals that are used to it. Yeah.
Do you have anything else you would like to share with us?
I want to say hello to everyone listening to us. I thank you for inviting me. Thank you for David, who is taking pictures. And I thank you for learning to come here and help learn how to edit and everything. Cut all my silly parts off that thing.
Just for context to everyone watching, Shirley's thanking our cameraman for filming this show.
Thanks for watching us, and I hope you enjoyed the story. If you want to talk to me, I'm on Facebook, Shirley Elias.
You can find her on Facebook and some of your beautiful art that you share too. Yeah. So thank you, Shirley, for coming on and being on the show. Every time it's something new. I feel like I learn history or something, and I really appreciate it. And I'd like to, and I'd like to thank all of you for tuning in on today's episode, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye.
How soon can we watch it? Anytime now? Oh, it's live?
It's
Shri Kumaniliwa Yatorin. Mga tudyo minugulit. Hilin. Shri Qaikaffi. Tok. Mga kanidyo minugulit. Sakit.
Yeah. Kokiga uminaksiya.
Halfway tara. Halfway uminaksiya. 223 mahana.
Nik sakajang ilang pisimuna ikiaktang iya. Nik sakajang ilang nagsutito na lian iya. Marik jawai galuak ping api wali ayong manay